Well, hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Companion to the Companion. I'm here with Ian, and we tonight are discussing our second so far out of 15 shows at Red Rocks in Colorado. This is June 11th of 1994, the fantastic month of June 94, which we'll be spending the next 5 episodes on.
Wow.
Magic month containing a lot of great fish. So welcome, and welcome, Ian.
Greetings, Sam, and everyone. Hello.
Greetings and
What,
salutations.
what a joy to be here. And 5 in a month. Is that going to be a record? I actually haven't looked, and now I'm kind of curious if that's going to be.
I looked into it, and we get really close in November, December 97.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry. Yep. November, December 97 beats this stretch of June, July. But it's close because July we got a couple more. So the end of summer 94 and then fall 97 are really these guys that wrote this book and gals really packed together their favorites in these stretches. And it's easy to see why.
Yeah, absolutely. June 94, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, when I kind of looked at the next run of upcoming shows, I was very excited and thought, wow, we've got some amazing stuff to talk about here.
These shows shaped my fishdom. They really did.
Yeah.
This whole run of shows we're about to discuss was, my first show was during this stretch. And, these were the tapes that I started getting right after that. And because I was so moved from my first show and you just go out and you seek out tapes from that era.
Yeah, whatever you can get, your hands on. I remember was Randy, and especially if it had like one or two songs you hadn't heard. You're like, what is this? And then sometimes things were mislabeled, and then you would actually hear the song and be like, oh, this was just Wilson. What the fuck? Anyway, an enjoyable show. I have to say, I think that this show is like smoking hot. It is like ripping from start to finish. It is just great, and a lot of it is just perfect. But I don't know how special. I don't know. I might get some pushback on this. I'm not sure. But I don't know if I'm going into this episode thinking that it likely will be cut.
Well, here's stepping back. Red Rocks we've both been there. You lived in Colorado for a while.
Yeah.
And I got to see the 4-night 96 run. It is a magical place.
Yes.
This was their second of the 15 shows so far that made this list.
Yeah.
And I do believe both might not be on our final 100.
Yeah.
But if I had to push to shove 8/20/93, which was episode 10, I don't know between the two of them which I would want to keep on, this one or that one. I'm kind of in the mix. And then 95 those shows didn't really stand out. The 496 shows didn't stand out, and then they weren't back till 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Red Rocks is one of those places where it's so gorgeous. It is so fun to see the band there. They seem to obviously have a great time when they're there. Their audience interaction's a big part of it. I do feel like it is representative of their breadth of their career to have a show on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And that this one might be the one that stays. Only because, like you said, I mean, Wilson, Chalk Dust, Rift, Down with Disease, like right out of the gates. There's so much power. There's so much great, confident, energetic playing, and there's zero, take them home, listen to again jams.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I loved listening to the show. It was just fun.
Yeah.
But you could almost have it on in the background.
Yeah.
It was great. And the band was there's so much screaming and yelling and laughing and like talking. And, this show was broadcast on, simulcast on Denver radio. So there's decent soundboards out there. I mean, again, it leaves a lot to be desired with all the hiss and stuff. But, these shows were easy to get and everyone had them and they were just so fun. It's easy, good time fish.
Right.
I'm sure if they played a show this good now, people would say it's the greatest show they've ever played in their whole history.
Well, it's unbelievably tight. It is, and there's so much energy, and just every member of the band is just on fire, virtuoso style. I do think the Yem is a stand. Do we want to like break from our standard model and not even talk about individual songs? Do we want to just just talk about a few songs? Or
we could shrink down a little. I mean, the Wilson and the Chalk Dust openers were great, but there's nothing, nothing to write home about. I have a few things to say along the way, but we can definitely jump right to the M.
Yeah.
Which is the only headphones in the book.
Right.
And I full on agree.
Yeah, it's really spectacular. Yeah, it's great.
It's super fun. There's no real out there,
right?
But right at the beginning of Trey's solo, the playing is so interesting, so unique for him, and for Yems at this time, and it really, it goes big,
right?
But that right at the beginning of the solo, it gets me. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll have to play that clip. I know the exact moment you're talking about. I do think that there are different styles of yams. You enjoy myself. And I think this one is a representative version for a rockin' yam. Yeah. If you want a rockin' yam, this is a great place to go. And in general, like if we were making a top 10 list of great beginner shows, I would definitely consider this show.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
It really is just everything is great, concise, perfect, playful, has great energy, great for a beginner. And seeing as this is pretty early in their career, if you did happen to catch this Phish show early in your trajectory, I bet was a big,
life-changing.
Yeah, a big hook.
I mean, I even listened to the vocal, the transition from the instrumental piece into the vocal jam was so well done.
Yes.
Fishman singing the drum part, and I actually listened to the vocal jam. I was like, that was great. It got me really excited to listen to it.
Right.
There's a few yems where I listened through to the jam, and when the way it goes into the vocal jam pulls me in, and I have to listen to it. Yeah. And this was one of them. It was fabulous. I really liked that part of it.
what'd you think about that arrow into Rift?
It was fun. I thought the riff was hysterical because, as I was saying earlier, there's so many weird little vocal things.
Yeah.
But like the first 20 seconds of the song is like, it's weird. There's just so much, chatting and Fishman making little like noises in the band. Like there's so much of that in this show. And maybe it's because the way it was recorded for the FM station, like the mics were just super hot. But it's funny. And I think if we were listening to a audience recording, we wouldn't hear them quite as much.
That's interesting. And I think that has a lot to do with the reason why it's such a likable show is those small things. Like you wouldn't think of it at first, but just when the band is making like little squeaks and yells and accentuations to what they're playing, it shows that they're really into it, and that is subliminally contagious, even if you're focused on everything else that's happening. Because especially in this era, I thought Mike, this was another show where, and I don't know if this was the recording, but I found myself kind of like gravitating towards Mike, listening to Mike in these channels.
Oh yeah, great playing.
Yeah,
all four of them really. Like this was a show where there wasn't a standout.
Right,
everyone they were all equally really top of their game.
Right.
Page's solo through Rift, absolutely gorgeous. There's lots of moments later, as we kind of breeze through. Everybody's playing great. I thought Fishman was not just funny, but really on the ball.
Right.
So we discussed earlier, and we are going to attempt to insert a new sort of segment into our show, and that's when a show has a headphone in the book, as this one does on You Enjoy Myself, we're going to throw out to each other and listeners some recommendations of that song. Some may be on later shows that we're going to discuss, and we're going to kind of shoot for a lot of them not to be. So there can be some dark horses, some of our personal faves. And I think this is going to be the first time we delve into some You Enjoy Myself recommendations.
Let's do it. Sam, you're up first.
I'm up first. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this chronologically.
Okay.
And the first one I have is a show we will be discussing in a while, which is 12/9/95 at the Knickerbocker. This You Enjoy Myself You Enjoy Myself of legend. A lot of people believe it to be the best, if not all time, but definitely top 5, top 10 You Enjoy Myselfs. I think that how this one starts, where Trey's kind of playing a unique groove that he grabs onto and holds onto. I think that's what happens at this Nick show, but they take it to 11 right away.
Yeah.
It is a life-changing song, and I believe it was on one of those. You can find a soundboard of it.
Yeah, it was on From the Archives at some point.
One of those.
This is the way I feel about this jam. I totally agree with you. And it is sort of like bliss incarnate. Like, I think if you could lock in with that groove that they find, and then just become conscious that it's tickling it's like tickling this bliss part of your body, and then just appreciate that you're going to stay there for a long time. I think this jam, the 12/9/95 jam, can be kind of challenging for people with attention spans that aren't, at the max.
I pissed off a musician friend playing it for him once.
It is a really long jam, and it's very repetitive. And I think the first time you kind of hear it, you're like, this is it? Like, nothing's happening. It's just this. But then when
that's all I want.
Yeah, when you kind of zone in on it, you're like, they've actually just kind of like found this perfect diamond, and they're just repeating it over and over again. And when you're at a show, that's exactly what you want. You don't want that moment to ever end.
You're able to showcase the very subtle changes bar to bar.
Yeah.
As long as you keep it simple.
Of course, there's that too. Yes.
Fall 95 was when Phish really started to get that picture.
Yeah.
In a clear way that bled into what I thought Fall 96 was an incredible end of that tour. And then the 97-8 sound, where it was simplicity wrapped up in this repetitive, as you say, diamond. Like, it's a visual thing.
Yeah.
A good groove is a big visual object. And 12/9/95's got it all. It's great. Yeah, great bass solo.
I was just thinking,
it's got some shaft quotes.
I want to live there forever, right? Is like your thought.
Oh my God,
when you're listening to it.
It's like, as a bassist, when you find the note in the groove and it's like a 1-note or 2-note little thing and everyone locks in, you're like, okay, this is where I want to be until the day I die. Like, you just get there and feel it. And a great band like this can do it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is, I can't say enough.
Well, I hate to do another offshoot, but I have to say, at the 7/21/98 Phoenix, Arizona show, they played a Ghost, She Caught the Katy. And I remember the sort of transition, the funk jam, just as they were going into She Caught the Katy. It was just right before, and you didn't know they were going into She Caught the Katy, but it was just this funk jam, and I can like everything about it. Like, I can like see myself in the moment and what I was wearing and how I was dancing. And I remember thinking to myself, like, last forever. This moment lasts forever, lasts forever, lasts forever. I don't ever want them to change. And then, like, when you're in that moment, it always seems longer than it is. But I'm sure, 90 seconds later, they started with She Caught the Katy. And then I was like, oh, well, this is very exciting. Blues Brothers and all this and that. And the moment does end, but I certainly didn't want it to. So.
I had a brief talk with our friend Ryan, who was there with us then, just about what special times, it's a time of reflection. I think the pandemic's pushed us that way. But what special times those were, and just how much we love each other, because I was right there and felt the same way. And there's very few people you can actually, I mean, there's only a finite number of people that were physically there. And I would like to think there's a finite number of people who felt that way. And I remember we talked about it right after the show.
Right.
And you were our Blues Brothers go-to guy. I mean, that's always been one of your favorite movies ever. And opening and the guy who's like, all right, we're all high on X right now. And we need to kind of relax, and I'm going to put this movie on at full volume, and it's just bum, bum, and like that's where I gained I'd seen the movie, but I gained a deeper appreciation for it through you. And so that prior to this show, so that moment was a really it was a special moment in life.
Yeah, that was like one of those Phish moments that felt kind of personal. Like, is this for me?
Yeah. And I felt it personal for you and then for us. And it was beautiful.
Obviously, there were other Blues Brothers fans in the crowd. I'm well aware of that.
Yeah. And then that was my first pick, Ian. So what's yours?
Okay. As we've been talking about this, I've been kind of wavering on there's a lot of you enjoy myself out there. But I think I just want to talk a little bit about the Great Woods, the 7/8/94. You Enjoy Myself, which was just released on a Dinner and a Movie, and I'm sure everybody has heard it. But I do feel like when I hear people talk about that show, they don't usually talk about the You Enjoy Myself, and
which is unbelievable.
Yeah, and a really special version for me was played for me pretty early on by Sam here, and I just think that Trey gets this little like before we get to the Frankenstein, which is just kind of like something that he's been working on through this 94 summer tour. It's one of these jams that kind of is a culmination of a lot of themes and ideas that they've been working on. And Frankenstein was a song that kept getting teased throughout the summer, and I think the band was kind of used to like to tease it. And this being at the end, towards the end, they came out and played the whole version. But really what I want to get into is just when this Frankenstein goes back into the You Enjoy Myself, is just one of those moments that is permanently seared into my brain when I think of, like, what can Phish do that no other band in the world could do? I don't know why that moment just comes to mind. So
being able to watch it finally too on the Dinner and a Movie release. It was unbelievable to see like Trey walking around and counting down to Fishman, and it just like it right back where they left off. It's almost like they took Frankenstein and inserted it as Trey's solo. but
Totally.
perfectly done in this weird way. And my first show was the night after that night,
Right.
which, missing. As a Phish fan, you chase a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And I think as I got into my career, I learned don't miss shows if you can.
Right.
So I missed that one, but I feel a real close place in my heart with it. So
Right.
in a couple more episodes here, we'll be discussing it. So I can't.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up for that reason.
Cannot
but whatever.
wait.
No.
I
I love it so much. Yeah.
I can't talk about it enough.
Yeah, that return from the Frankenstein into the You Enjoy Myself, it sounds like the jam is being dropped through a wormhole, and then it just like comes out so smoothly. I don't know. It's tough. This stuff is hard to describe. Yeah. But check it out. So do we want to keep going yams, or are you gonna?
Yeah, let's do top threes.
All right, top threes.
So my next, I would do 11/29/96 at the Cow Palace.
Okay.
I'll spend forever talking fall West Coast 96, the end of that tour.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time I saw a longer run of shows.
Mm-hmm.
Every show was incredible that I saw.
Yeah. And
I think, the Arco Arena on 11/30 was, in my top 5 shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, I was at New Year's 95 and Big Cypress, and that show ranks.
Yeah.
No one talks about it.
Right.
And I think this show at the Cow Palace the night before was also really underrated.
Yeah.
Cow Palace, not the greatest place to see a show, but being a fan of the Dead, I mean, the Dead shows there were legendary.
Yeah.
And it's just this big cement indoor kind of place. And Daly City's not the prettiest place in the world. But, 96 was a weird year to see Phish. 95, 96 on the West Coast. They played weird venues.
Right.
And I thought every aspect of this show was really interesting, unique, differently played. And in this You Enjoy Myself, during the big builds, Trey snaps a string on the first one, right before the sort of vocal section. So they bring out his backup guitar. And I think something about the backup guitar, something about the band at that time, this is the coolest, funkiest. I seek out this yem.
Mm-hmm.
It is unbelievable. There's so many good things from this show, but this yem is like I remember, I think Dave Jolly said it was, an old friend of ours, said it was the single best piece of Phish he'd ever heard at the time.
Yeah, I agree that it's. I have a funny story with this, and Sam is of course talking about the post bell. It's a bell, right, or is it a cymbal? Like he goes ding.
It's Mike's stomp bell.
Okay, it's Mike's stomp bell.
The wrestle bell.
Yeah,
that he
and then Trey goes
yeah.
dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, just the funkiest shit.
The whole thing is because the solo after that's amazing.
Yeah,
the bass solo is amazing. Like it all pieces together. But that part is it's yem played like it never has been.
Right. exactly. That's what we're searching for. Yeah, I almost crashed my car. I only have like a few stories like this where I was so shocked with happiness by the music that I almost just like lost control, and I, you know, anyway, yeah, it happened in that jam, and it was just like so funky, and I was bobbing my head, and then I think my hand slipped off the wheel, and I was driving a stick at the time, and then someone slammed their brakes, and I had to swerve out of the way, and I was like, whoa, okay. And what did I do? I rewound the tape, and I listened to it again. Oh, you
got to, yeah. I had to work hard to get these tapes too, I remember.
Yeah.
I think this was another Brian Grove scenario, but yeah, I instantly walked out of that show and was like, I need that again right now. And this show contains so many good things. There was a Sparks at this show too, like I think my only Sparks, that was really fun, and really good Bathtub Gin. Just a great show all around. I had so much fun. Number 2 for you.
Number 2, well, I got to go 7/31/97, Shoreline. And yeah, just as Dave Jolly would have said about that Cow Palace yam, I would say about this yam. And I would still say that if I had to choose the most entrancing, magical, spiritual, musical moment I've had at Phish, this would certainly be a tie.
That's a good one.
And it just gets so weird. And that's what I love about this jam. It's not a straight ahead like rockin' yam, and it's not a funk yam, but it's got some funk, and it's got some rock, and it's also just got this like wild psychedelic, just pure Phish jam. It's just so fishy. And when, like, if I'm just talking about a detail of this one, because the whole thing is really great, but as it's 35 minutes, and as it's getting towards the end, and like maybe your attention span is starting to wane, it gets like a little weird and a little quiet, and then just as it comes back to finish up the yam, just the nuance and the way they're playing is just I don't know, they're so on it, they're so in the moment, that I feel like they're, I don't know, that's all I got.
Yeah.
I stutter out on I don't knows a lot. I like to get poetic and then just say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, number 3.
There's
go ahead.
Well, my only thing on this yam, well, two short things. One, what always gets me, there's a point where Trey has his pitch shifter on, so it's this weird computer sounding guitar tone, and there's a hard Santa Claus is coming to town tease. And I don't know if it's written anywhere. I'm sure Fishnet has it by now. But I remember thinking, like, has no one heard this thing? And I remember laughing out loud at the show. And then, I'm pretty sure you were with me so we saw Shoreline 97, 8, and 9.
Right, yeah.
And all 3, 9 was 2 nights.
Right.
I think it was 2 nights. All 3 had a You Enjoy Myself. And I remember in 99, a friend of one of our friends we were seeing the show with was bitching that every time he comes and sees this band here, they play this You Enjoy Myself song, and he's so sick of it. And I thought to myself, I mean, if they played it every single night I saw him, I'd be upset. But maybe every other night I'm fine with. Because, like, how is... And all of them, the 98 one is also so fun. It's like, that's the one where Trey's got the yellow Jam volunteer shirt on. And it's just pure, like what they call the cow funk. That one's awesome.
That one has
and
a groove,
you can go watch that
on jam.
YouTube. And it's on YouTube. It's great.
And then
that whole show.
In 99, didn't Phil come on, and do they do like a bass duel on that? What am I thinking of something?
Can't remember if that was in You Enjoy Myself or not,
I can't
but it might have been.
Let's assume it wasn't. Okay.
I just remember the first night in 99, we were like 12 rows back dead center.
Yeah.
We had the best, like I'd been to Shoreline and I never really paid attention to tickets. I was like, all right, we'll go and we'll see. And we'd mail ordered and we got there and we're like, holy shit. And that was the like 14 song first set.
That's right.
It had On Your Way Down.
Yeah.
The Little Feet / Alan Toussaint.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah. That show was really fun. It's so much fun. I miss this band. All right. So my number 3 is 2/26/97 in Stuttgart, Germany, which is a Yem of legend. I think there was a point you told me that if you wanted to get someone into Phish, this is what you'd play for them.
Yeah.
And I think that was the line.
Yeah. That's how I felt at the time. Yeah.
It is such a fun, like a smaller club, but such a fun, perfectly played, Phish in their prime.
Yeah.
You Enjoy Myself. It's fabulous stuff.
Absolutely. That was one I considered putting on here, but I thought I'd do this other one as a contrast to that. But I do want to say I just love the recording of that show too. It really it adds. It has those small rooms in Europe. It adds a really unique. I just think it's so cool when shows sound so different like that because it sounds like a different band.
It's weird.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. But I wanted to
that Son of a Mule too. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's come up on the show, and we'll discuss it again. But 2/26, 2003. So same day in 2003. Really like the show. Obviously, it has the pitfalls that any 2003 show has. But I do love this You Enjoy Myself. And I've listened to it many times. It's of the rockin' variety. But yeah, just highly recommend it. Go check it out. Yeah, It's not
I like this.
It's not like a game changer, but it's the kind of yam that you listen to and you're like, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like recommendations. It makes me happy.
And now,
especially on a show like this.
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, back to June '94. I mean, I don't know what more first set we need to talk about. I thought the Ice had a nice atonal jam to it. The Tila, again, note perfect, was beautiful and really great. With Stash, I kind of got excited. I'm like, all right, we're gonna jump into, next realm here.
Especially
like almost every
Stash, yeah.
Yeah, and almost every 93 Stash really did that. And I was like, all right, we're going to hit this 94. It's going to be incredible. Stash, get me. And it was fine. It was just, it kind of did what a lot of the songs in this did. It was like, it got to the section where like, all right, we're going to jam a little. And then, they kind of grabbed the ball and just ran for the goal line top speed.
Yes, right.
With beautiful playing all the way through. Like, I don't want to fail a note in this show. I don't. We can come across as negative and nitpicking.
Yeah.
I would have given anything to be here. I think the show's great.
Yeah.
I just, as we start to repetitive listen and dig through and cull through what we find to be moments of ground breaking, I don't know that this is it.
Right.
But this was a straight party.
Yes.
I mean, that run to open the show, straight party. And then at the end of the show, Maze, Contact, Frankenstein, Susie Greenberg, it was just big party songs,
right?
And it would have been so fun.
Yeah, if I was going to say anything bad about the set, which I am not going to do, but I mean, I adore 94 Down with Diseases. Just love them.
Yes.
And this one didn't quite live up to my expectation of a 94 Down with Disease, but I really liked it. But there's a few others I would choose.
Just wait instead. two more episodes. 6/18/94 is the and I'll go. I try and get everyone to listen to it.
Yeah.
It is the perfect compact Down with Disease.
Yeah,
it is tight. It's 5-6 minutes, and it is note perfect beginning to end.
Well,
my
I think
God, the band crescendo, like I just hands down.
I think that's a big problem with this show is just having to in our brains knowing that 6/18 is right around the corner.
And OJ's coming.
Yeah, it's tough to.
Sugar Bush is coming, and Great Woods is coming, and I know
it's tough to know because the It's Ice again. I really enjoyed the It's Ice, but then when I think about the It's Ice on 6/18, I'm like, well, no contest.
And Game Hoist is coming, which also had some real stellar versions of a lot of these songs.
Yeah, that's true.
That Down with Disease rules.
Love that Down with Disease. All right then. Well, fine. Set one.
Set two.
All right. Set two.
What do you got to talk about with set two?
Well, we got the classic 2001 opener, also to Run Like an Antelope. 2001 was cool, standard 94. It's changing a little bit. I mean, we're hearing a lot of 2001s, obviously, and they're all basically the same, but I can tell a little difference.
Yeah, it takes a couple years from here to really get there, but it's getting there.
Yeah, the Run Like an Antelope I loved. I thought it was a great Run Like an Antelope. But again, same sort of thing we've been talking about.
I wrote that it was a bit one note, but the outro was really great.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the outro.
Yeah.
I thought they stretched it out. There was a lot of vocal, jokes and Fishman doing a lot of screaming. I thought that was really great.
marvelous. Opinions have any flake mug?
But it definitely, it was a little one note through the jam.
Right. Especially for 94 now already.
Yeah. We're going to get some crazy antelopes in the next handful.
That's true. And then Fluffhead.
Yeah. Similar to the antelope, I thought. Tightly played, solid, and then great screaming and energy through the arrival.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
And that solo was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Big peak. And, I think I read one of the reviews of the show. People are like, someone saying, I want to go back and listen to this Antelope just to hear like the precision of this band. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I love that too.
Yeah.
I have a real hard time. I vacillate between, in Bittersweet Motel where Trey's saying, I don't, someone says he played a wrong note. And he's like, I don't fucking care. Like all I care about is the energy. That's all I care about. Which I don't believe that's all he cares about. Yeah, but in that moment, I'm sure he felt that way.
Yeah.
And so vacillating between a show that's big energy and maybe a little sloppy, but so much fun.
Right.
And then a show that's technical perfection, but maybe a little antiseptic. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, and for those of you people that have YouTube out in the world, which is everybody, in doing research for this show and looking around, there's a 2-part interview of them that is some real like satirical theater. It's on the Big Daddy Show, and it's filmed 8 days after this, 6/19/94 in Kalamazoo. There's this guy on the Big Daddy Show, who's kind of hippie guy who sits down with the band before sound check and gets a few minutes to talk to them about their tour and stuff. Give it a watch. Give it a watch. It is really fun. And you kind of get their mindset at this point in their career. I would recommend listening to this show first, as in the Phish show, not just Companion to the Companion.
Yeah.
But then go give that a watch on YouTube. It's hysterical stuff. They're kids out on tour, fucking with people, and it's.
I was just gonna say they're pranksters at this point. Yeah,
it is hysterical.
I almost feel like I've watched it before, but I'll check it out. Yeah.
It's good, and there's a line in there where he was asking Trey. He's like, "Oh, the guitarist in my band made me ask you, like, what's the what's your guitar rig? And he's like, I just have a fucking Mesa Boogie amp and some tube screamers.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have any effects. I keep it as simple as I possibly can.
Right.
So I can just have nothing in my way, nothing impeding me from finding what I'm trying to look for.
Right.
And I thought about that versus what we talked about a few episodes ago with Trey's new sound.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the holy grail. I found it. I found the difference.
Yeah.
I found the difference in the person. And I thought, me as a bass player, I always tried to strip effects away and only use what, make the instrument sound like the instrument that it was. And I thought Trey was trying to do that then.
Yeah.
Whereas now, there's a lot of effects. And and I understand it's a bigger space they got to fill, but.
And not just that, but it's like, it's unfair to, I'm trying to think about the best way to put this, but I remember in, I guess it would have been about 2000. I guess it would have been 2003, 2004. My mom was like visiting me, and she was like, at this point, like finally kind of embracing Phish in my life. And she was like asking me a bunch of questions. I had gone to like the Vegas 2003 shows the year before. And she was like asking me, well, how are they now? Are they good? Because she knew about when they broke up in 2000 and I was all crushed. And I'm like, well, it was good. I'm like, but they're never going to be the same. And I was like, and she was like, why aren't they ever going to be the same? And I was trying to explain to her that just, I could tell that there was some light inside of the band that kind of like went out. And I mean, this is all common knowledge. We all know this now. But I remember like talking about it back then. And now when I get kind of frustrated with Trey and I get frustrated with all these pedals and how he's distracting himself, I think like, God, I'm just like so grateful that he found the light. Like he just found a new light. Like he found his way back, and he found like a different way to express the art inside him. And it's
change is good.
And it's just very different than what we were used to. But even in that moment, I guess what I'm getting at is that moment in 2004, I knew that the way he played guitar back in these shows, I knew that was never coming back. It didn't matter if he practiced freaking 20 hours every day for 2 years. It's just never gonna come back because it was that time and it was that thing. And it's kind of funny as I'm like talking about this, I feel like I'm now talking about the Beatles because I've been watching Get Back. And anyway, all right, so we're
all right, we'll ground ourselves.
We're back on track.
Scent of a Mule is fine. I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah,
I'm fine. But I do have to say, so Split Open and Melt from this show is on Live Bait Volume 6.
It is.
And I went and did the stupid thing of I was listening through the whole show and I stopped it after Scent of a Mule. I put on Live Bait Volume 6, put my headphones on and cranked that. And I was really mad at myself.
Why?
Because it sounded so good. I thought how you said, like the recording, maybe Mike was up front. He sounded 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
Everyone sounded better. And you could hear all the background screaming. I mean, I like wrote, this sounds so good and underlined all of it because I was shocked.
Right.
I was shocked with how good it sounds. But then I also wrote that it was much more of a rock show than a deep embryonic exploration kind of show.
Sure.
And I think that that didn't change with sound quality. And I kind of said that a few times in my notes.
Right.
Like, I get it. I get that they're not trying to, plunge the depths and really exhume this deep emotional energy. They're just trying to it is a party show.
Right.
I mean, I like to involve myself with lots of different mind-altering substances at different times in life. But this show, I would have liked to have smoked a little pot and had a few drinks.
Sure.
It's that kind of show. It's like, it's a fist pumper. It's really fun. It's hugging your friends. It's not, I need to close my eyes and really like delve into the deep netherworlds of my psyche.
It's true.
And
but
Split was that.
But contextually at that time, they hadn't done that. Like they weren't doing that stuff so much, like a little bit. So this still was, that's when you were going to see Phish in 94, for the most part, you were expecting a show like this at best. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, I don't think people were expecting half an hour jams just yet.
I don't know. Yeah. I know 93, we now have such immediacy in our recordings that back then, you didn't get tapes for a year.
Right.
So what they were doing in summer 93, people maybe were just hearing at this point, unless they were really connected with tape or friends and, friends on tour, which was a very small number of people. There's no internet. People aren't connecting that way. So this was it.
Yeah.
Was getting tapes a year later or months later.
Yeah.
I'll even say when we talked 22697, I remember getting that show on DAT before we went to see them in summer 97.
Correct, yeah.
And all we had read was all their European set lists. No one had heard anything.
Yeah.
And then we got that show and we listened to it, and it opens with Camel Walk.
Right.
That was just like funky as hell. I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this band right now?
Totally.
It blew our minds. And I think that was still going on. That was the standard at this point.
Yeah, but I also do think that there's a lot of 10-minute songs, and 10-minute is a long song. That's a long jam for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you are in your Phish career. I guess my point being is that if I would have seen this in the first this show in the first year or two, I would have loved to have seen it on some psychedelics. There's certainly, the You Enjoy Myself alone probably would have been worth the ticket price on that front.
And I'm sure all the Fog Machine during 2001, and Antelope and Fluffhead are weird songs.
Yeah,
and Descent of a Mule the Split Open and Melt was great.
Yeah, the Split Open and Melt was great, and my 2 cents on that was that I listened to the whole show all the way through first, and then I realized afterwards that it was a soundboard of it, and I went and I listened to the soundboard, and I'm sure this is a mood thing and a first time listen thing, but I preferred the shitty version better. When I listened to the hissy sort of, there's something about Split Open and Melt in particular, and on a tape where you can't really hear what's going on because it's already such a chaotic song. It already makes you feel so chaotic. If there's a couple layers of hiss on top of it, it just adds another dimension of I don't know, disturbance. But anyway, yeah, for me, aside from the You Enjoy Myself, this was the highlight of the show.
Good.
Yeah.
I liked it too. And then Coil. I thought Page really, from here out, Page crushes. Mm-hmm. He kind of steals a lot at the end. I thought his solo in Coil was gorgeous. And, we've talked about before where the band kind of sticks with him for a long time.
Right.
I think this one, it was short and they just let him go.
Yeah.
And it was really him out there by himself. And imagine just playing a baby grand piano at Red Rocks to 7,000 or 8,000 people.
Absolutely.
On a beautiful moonlit night. And it's got to be the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. Until a few months later when he plays Madison Square Garden for the first time. And that becomes the highlight of his Phish career.
There's steps. There's steps. And then weirdly, I thought this. I don't know how I feel about the maze in here.
The placement.
Yeah, because it's. I like the way the set list is written for this show is really perfect.
Yeah.
For a big energy show, and Maze is a big energy after Coil. I get it.
Yeah.
And the solo. Well, here's what I'll say. When it first hits, there's almost some group improv at the top of Page's solo.
Right.
And I thought to myself, are we going to have like a weird little type 2 maze? Which could happen right then. They could abandon the Page solo, Trey solo out.
Right.
Which a lot of first set mazes have, which is where Maze normally lives, in that first set area. And really delve into a whole different, like take that August 93 style and throw the playbook out the window.
Right.
And they don't. There's a little trepidation, a little, they kind of pull back. And it goes through, a decent Page solo and then Trey solo. And the end of his solo is massive.
Right.
Massive. Full volume, full everything, screaming. I get it. But I thought they missed a little opportunity to stretch out.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, whenever I've been to Red Rocks, I just want to hear soaring ballads. So
yeah, which after Coil to Maze, I don't know, it rubbed me a little the wrong way.
Yeah,
but then the rest of the show was like the absolute, the who's who of victory laps. It was perfect.
Right, but if it had gone
so
like
happy.
Squirming Coil into like Slave to the Traffic Light or something like that, or a Harry Hood, I can't remember what they played the night before. They probably played one of those.
Yeah,
but that might have worked a little bit better. But nitpicking.
It was a slight fourth quarter mishap. Yeah, Maze was a cool choice if they had kind of trusted themselves to really stretch that section.
Right. Yeah.
It's close. They almost go, and I can't. We'll have to do some re-listen. I'll pop it in here, but it's hard to tell who pulls that ripcord, but they don't go. They almost do.
Yeah.
I felt it, and I got excited.
I'll blame Trey. And then on to
truffles.
Contact. Loved the Contact. I always love a Contact. I guess once you're in it, it's like one of those songs. Like once you're in it, it's hard not to love it.
Well, with Contact, and then a couple songs later with Susie, Page just dominates these solos.
Yeah,
I mean it's the band playing together, but he's really pushing as the leader. But my God, I love Contact too. Yeah. Every time. I think people forget about the arm sways too.
Yeah. It's just like a cool, silly, catchy song.
Yeah.
But I think like in a weird way, it's like one of those Phish songs that's so like simple and stupid, but it like works. There are some like Phish lyrics where people are like, that's just like the worst. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Like I see where you're coming from. But in a way, I think the simplicity of these lyrics are really quite brilliant. And the way a lot of Mike lyrics are. These are Mike lyrics, right? Yeah. They seem like Mike lyrics.
They are. Do you remember the hubbub? I think it was 97, but 97, 98, where the rumors and everyone was talking about how the band had made a list of songs that are off the table now.
I do remember that, yeah.
And this was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I remember that Dinner and a Movie was on that list.
Right.
Everyone talked about that, and that this was on that list.
Uh-huh.
And I remember someone at some point reading a Trey interview where he talked about, like we wanted to be more serious and didn't want to have as much of the humor straightforward in our songs.
Sure.
But I can't stop playing over that 3-chord groove. He's like, it is just my favorite thing, and it's so fun. And I got that, and I think this was a great example of it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with bands retiring songs for a while.
No.
And this band is so good at it. They just say, all right, we're going to shelf this one for a little bit.
Yeah.
When we feel like doing it again, we'll do it again. And they brought a lot of stuff back.
Oh, I've got a long list of songs I'd love for them to shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. People love the gaps, though. This has been this many shows since this song was played.
Right.
Which, for me, it's not my favorite
Well,
thing.
it usually doesn't work out because they're generally not played very well because it's been so long since they played it. Yeah. Now, that's not always true, but it's true a lot.
Can I loop back around to She Caught the Katy? That at the time of that being played, that was the longest gap any song had ever had.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was very exciting. I just
a little satisfaction.
It was statistically doubly exciting. Yes, I remember.
I didn't know till much later. I was like, oh, I guess we not only had a great time, but the statistics were in our favor.
Well, there were rumors before that show that they were going to bust out at that show, right? That was like, we had heard rumors that like, oh, the Phoenix show is going to be the one. Wink, wink. I don't know if you recall that, but...
I remember 97 in Phoenix was better for me.
Well,
98 was really fun.
Yeah. No, 97 was a better show for sure. Speaking of, that's a definite underdog show. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. We got Contact into Frankenstein.
Yep.
I mean, you can't beat a Frankenstein closer at Red Rocks. The crazy lights, the noise, the energy.
Yep.
Just the whole scene. Great choice. Great performance.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then Susie, which I just wrote Page solo again. I get it.
Yeah.
This show is just super fun.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about it.
But you're right. That encore in a nutshell is kind of representative of the... I know it's only one song, but if I had to choose one song that described the mood of the show, Susie Greenberg, that's pretty good.
Red Rocks needs to get represented on this list of 100. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that 93 or 4. We got these two shows to choose from.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nitpicking, but one of them's going to go.
I would say without hesitation this one over 820 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might take a little re-listen. I can't wait.
Okay.
We got time to talk new music?
Yeah, let's talk some new music.
Because my God.
Yeah.
The last few weeks have been a smorgasbord, to stick with Stuttgart.
All right, well, lay it on us.
So, Silk Sonic's full album came out.
Yes, I have not listened to it.
I can't get enough.
Okay.
It is... I really love funk and soul music deep within me, and I can't believe that Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak are doing this.
Right.
And they have Bootsy Collins as like he's their introducer, their serenader through the whole thing. Thundercat guests on a song, and he's so good. It is fabulous. I can't say enough. I got into a little... one of my favorite songs has a somewhat misogynistic overtone.
Uh-huh.
And the word bitch is used aggressively twice.
Sure.
It's called Smoking Out the Window.
Uh-huh.
And I get it. It's a man who's been wronged and he's very upset. But I also have a lot of women in my life and I'm not sure how I feel about it. That aside, the record's gorgeous. And it evolves, like it opens like a flower. It evolves. And the tip of the hat to all of these classic, soul production tricks is really laid out there and beautifully done with modern techniques.
Sure.
The band is tight as hell. Can't say enough.
Yeah.
Neil Francis, full record finally came out.
Oh, I haven't listened. Oh man, okay, yeah, I got.
It is very different.
It is, huh?
Very, very different. A lot more. We'll talk.
Okay.
Kelly Stoltz, full record came out.
Oh, cool.
Which there's been, Below the Branches, his first record was so amazing, and then there's been some, in my opinion, some
Sure. Agreed.
This one has a lot more to dive into. There's all these bonus tracks that are really fun. I need to give it more time, but on the surface is great.
Okay.
Charlie Hunter put out a new record.
Nice.
It's called Kick, Snare, Baritone, Guitar, and that's the record.
Okay.
It's him and a drummer with a kick and a snare.
Uh-huh.
It is also super great.
Okay.
Really just good, fun, put it on when you're hanging out music. And then the Willie Nelson Family record.
Oh, yeah. How
came
good,
out.
Huh?
It's really fun.
Yeah.
The All Things Must Pass that Lucas Wilson takes lead vocals on.
Yeah.
I want the George by himself, All Things Must Pass, played over my casket when I die.
Good choice.
That song it really deeply rips at my heart, and Lucas Wilson's voice really does a nice job with, keeping up high like George's did.
And what's your favorite version of All Things Must Pass?
I think it's the anthology one where it's just George. Of course. That's the one I want. And then we got Coming to Us. M. Ward's released a single. His record's coming. Spiritual Eyes just released a single. Their record's coming, and they're touring.
Yeah.
Mother Hips have dropped a couple.
Yeah.
Their record's coming, and I've enjoyed them.
Yeah.
So there's just been a lot of great new music. And then this weekend, I've only watched a little bit, but I plan on watching the Clifford Ball on Dinner and a Movie, which
you've seen it many times. Right.
Yeah, but I just can't say enough about what Phish did for us with the Dinner and a Movies. It's helped me. And then today, we could talk about this forever. 12 record vinyl box of Dinner and the Movie.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks gorgeous.
I was not at the Clifford Ball.
Yeah.
I was at the Great Wen and Lemon Wheel, but I was not at the Clifford Ball. My wife was, and she had such a good time at those shows.
Yeah.
She really... That was the end of her Phish career, but she remembers them with a lot of fond memories and positivity, like everyone does with those weekends. And I'm sad I missed them. I think there's some really great music. I think of the 3 festivals, I don't know that that's the one I would choose of the 3 to really delve this deep into. And I don't think I'll spend $360 or $70 on the vinyl, even though I'm a vinyl guy.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Dude, the New Year's 95 vinyl, of course I have.
It sounds unbelievable on Live Phish. I listened to some of it today, and just the recording is just fucking gorgeous.
Which makes me tempted.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I just like to say, by the time this comes out, it'll probably already be released.
But you have the DVDs,
we're a bit behind. Yeah, but... there's something about vinyl. And
totally. I'm not saying that, but I do remember the last time I watched the DVDs, it sounds fucking great, and really cool because they've got it all 5.1 and stuff. I don't know
if you're a vinyl guy or gal,
Yeah.
and you want to spend that kind of money, I would spend it.
Right.
Because they limit edition these. I know my New Year's 95 that I bought, I know a guy who's saying that they only released that one stretch and that they're never going to make any more. And, you know, they're worth a ton. So if that's what you're into.
Sure.
I'm not. I like to listen to music, but that's just me.
Well, I don't have a lot to recommend. I'm just going to recommend one album and then I'll kind of save up the rest of my stuff for next time. But because Sam recommended the Mother Hips, I read an article about how on their new album they're covering this Anne Murray song called David's Song. And it's from this album, What About Me, from 1968, that they were on the road and they went to they stopped at like a gas station, and they had like a bargain cassette tapes, and they saw this one with the funny cover of Anne Murray, so they picked it up and then listened to it in the car and were blown away at how musically great it was. And I read that and I thought, there's no way that that's true. I know Anne Marie. My mom used to force me to listen to Anne Marie. But I threw on the album and I loved it. It's definitely that like rootsy kind of Americana, like a country girl singer. But there's like psychedelia and folk and bluegrass mixed in there. There was this one song towards the end. It's called Buffalo at the Park, where like the last minute they went like totally like berserker on the fader. And all my like the sound was going everywhere with my speakers, and my kids were like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh shit! It was 1968. That's what's going on."
Every engineer was high. That's what was going on. Let's try this, man.
But very, very fun, and like some really great songwriting, and cool album. I will say the second half of the album is much better than the first. Anyway, no one's going to listen to an Anne Murray album. Who am I kidding? But I like it.
I'm going to.
Okay, so good.
That works for me.
All right, everyone.
All right.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah, last thing, podcast. I've said it every one of these. Go listen to 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. I'm obsessed. It's my new thing. Every episode is fabulous. It's a really, really, really... I've been living in the 90s world lately, and it's great. I just listened to a Tribe episode, and I miss them. I miss Fife Dog. I thought that was great. Next, one more podcast recommendation ties into our next show. Episode 16, next time we talk, is going to be the OJ show, also June 94. It is the night OJ was ripping it up the highway. Sorry. No, the freeway? The freeway. In the white Bronco. And if you've never listened to the podcast You're Wrong About, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. They just kind of unofficially broke up a little bit. Sarah Marshall, the woman, is going to keep going with other guest hosts, but the other guest host left. But they do this extended... They're spread out over time, but there's 20 hours of deep dive into OJ and the trial and everything around it. And the podcast is so great, and Sarah Marshall is like my spirit animal. She is funny and just, I don't know. Listen to You're Wrong About.
Yeah, you should listen to that. Listen to all those episodes. And you should probably watch The People versus O.J. Simpson as well.
Yes.
And do your research, people. It's really going to
They're really going to prep you for this show.
It's going to add depth to the conversation. You think it won't, but it will.
Someone's got to have time on their hands to do that. So do that before this, and then do this, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I do like the the song 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. I listened to Tori Amos, Cornflake Girl, and Madonna, Vogue. It's funny. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be so funny, but
he's so scripted in the way that he does the intro part, and I love that he brings someone in to talk to later. And what I got about it is, I think a lot of our podcast here, we're nitpicking and complaining. I think a lot of his podcast, he is just loves. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of real passion for that music, and it's brought it all back.
Right.
There's a lot of 90s music that really mattered to me, and I'm sure to you, and it's pretty cool to see it brought back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to take that as an insult, but, as Howard Zinn said, dissent is the highest form of patriotism. And I feel like what we're doing here with Phish just really shows just how much we love them.
Let's keep moving backwards.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companiontothecompanion@gmail.com.